It is I, return to you from my sojourn in the southern lands, the RPG fire and brimstone preacher, Anderwood, and today we're going to be talking about zombies. That's right, zombies in Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. Now, I'm sure, like me, you have seen players sit around the table and go, let me just get my phone out and text here or something. Who has some zombies come out? Because zombies have, for some reason, since the inception of D&D, been one of the most boring, underdone monsters there are. Now, me in a real-world setting, if I see someone get up and walking around and they're dead, it's scary as fuck. I will sell zombies, I will sell undead all the time, but zombies, statistically, are a joke of a monster. They move slow, they're easy to hit, they don't have any thought going on in their head. They're pretty worthless. Now, there's one big reason that zombies in zombie movies are horrifying, or scary, or fun, and they keep you on the edge of your seat, that they don't bring over in Dungeons and Dragons. That's right. I'm sure many of you have seen that with your zombies. And you might say, oh, well, this dragon might go in and raven off supplements. And I'm talking about right out of the goddamn Monster Manual, first book right away. So let's not even entertain what could be and should be and has been. But I'm going to talk about what will be. So I'm going to go into explaining how I have redesigned zombies for the campaign world that I am going to be putting out for all of you good people at some point, if I can ever finish all the things I'm doing for, to pay my rent here, or pay, I don't have a rent, to pay my mortgage, to pay for my family and so forth. Been working like crazy, and that's why this is, this was shaved down. In the last video, you'll see my hair's all out, so you can see it's been like 3 weeks since I've actually made a video. I just stagger post things out. Now, for zombies, let's talk about zombies. What makes zombies in The Walking Dead and Dawn of the Dead and all these sort of movies scary? Well, the fact is, they bite you. What happens? You know what happens. What happens to D&D when they bite you? Oh, point of damage. Oh, I don't care. The zombie's a joke. For me, here's the trade-off, though. A zombie in D&D, I mean, you're sitting there whacking on it, because, let's face it, they're aimed at second-level characters, first-level characters, third-level characters, maybe. Of course, there are lots of them there. Higher levels, of course, you can say, oh, what if you had a zombie soldier? I don't talk about that right now. We're going to talk about how to get that value out of a zombie. So what do I do for a zombie? Now, I'm going to give you, this is going to be a bit of an insight, and I'm not going to clarify certain things, because I think I have a lot of very good ideas that I'm sure some individuals out there we'll be happy to make off with once they are available. But let me at least give my credit first and foremost. So, what are we doing with zombies? Okay, well, zombies have 1 hit point. Zombies are extraordinarily easy to kill. You watch them, they just die. Now, there's a special little caveat to that. You have to hit them right in the head. Right in the head. So, the defense rating on a zombie is going to be divided twice. If you don't know what you're doing, just assuming you're going to be hitting the body, unless you happen to roll natural 20. It's going to sort them out, and perhaps give the character a little bit of insight afterwards. Oh, yeah, that's just what we should be doing. Zombies, like all undead, I have no idea why, well, like most undead that are corporeal at any rate, are incredibly vulnerable to critical hits. Look at a zombie, look at a vampire. Those are, it's all about critical hits with those monsters. Cutting off the head, taking them through the heart, and so forth. I never understood why undead were immune to critical hits. I mean, thieves, like a nightmare class against them. I mean, hell, look at your vampire hunters. That's the class they go into. Van Richten, so forth. Those guys are rogues. So you have that 1 hit point. You have a higher defense to the head, and they have to specify, I'm going to go for the head. All right. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as I go, and all sorts of call shot rules. But, and again, a zombie isn't defending itself. It's not defending itself. Something is a lot easier to hit if it just staggers towards you versus if if you pull a gun at a real person, they're trying to move and swirl and duck, trying to do everything they can to preserve themselves. Zombie just, and you just sort it out directly right in the nugget. Pew! Snuck. So I can hire defense class to the head. If you know what you're firing at, hitting him in the body all day isn't going to do anything. Just completely immune to that damage. One hit point to the head, hit him in the head, they're done. But then we go into immunities, all sorts of things. A zombie, electricity, that's not going to do anything to a zombie. Fire, well, fire will kill a zombie. You have to put quite a bit of it. Oh, 1 hit point. Again, we're dealing with just 1 hit point here, so it has to have resistance. I would go with like a resistance of 5 versus fire. So like 6 points of fire in a round, that's going to kill it. You've seen zombies in I think every horror movie there is. They get lit of fire, but it's a lot of fire. It's a lot of fire damage before they actually drop. 1 point of fire damage, that's not going to really be enough to take care of a zombie. And like the same thing, I would say with acid. Now, zombies bite you. Save and throw, you fail. It's going to be a bad ride for you. It's going to be a real bad ride. Of course, we know what's going to happen. And that is the horror of zombies. That is why zombies in horror movies are scary. You don't see a Dungeons & Dragons style zombie in a horror movie. It's fucking scary. Why you'd be like, man, those zombies were boring. They were biting people, scratching people. Nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. But when the character who has the, I'll just use 3.5 versions, who has the knowledge religion, or as I call it, the theology skill, and they look and they go, ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's going to be bad. Now, you've been bitten, right? He doesn't know if you made that saving throw or not. He just knows that most people, when they are bitten, are going to eventually, at some point in the future, turn to zombies. So you have a whole tense deal here. Oh, as the priest begins to become very leery that you're going to turn to a zombie. And they may even have to take some proactive measures against you, and rightfully so. So that is the way that I've handled zombies. And we haven't playtested it yet, but I'm sure, I'm dead sure, they're going to be one of the first things that I unleash against some of the players. We're going to see how they sell for these zombies. Nothing is scarier than something that's going to take a character out right like that. Get you have respect for them. Now, how do you go? Oh, that's too much. Okay, moving away from them. Don't run up and start hitting zombies with swords. There's a reason. In any sort of horror, you see people back away from the zombies, shoot the gun, shoot the crossbow, back away, back away. They don't just run up on them when the zombies just straight and go. That's a lot of D&D players want to do. They want to run up and just knock them in the head with the mace or whatever. Oh, I also gave them resistance against bludgeoning. For some reason, I think they just had slashing, which was very odd to me. Like piercing is actually the kind of damage that would really sort a zombie out. I mean, a gunshot, that's piercing damage. A crossbow bolt, an arrow, those are piercing. That's right in the head, and you're done. So for me, it's either a case of just decapitating them or air conditioning that brain with a bolt, with an arrow, something like that. It's going to be, you certainly could, with a mace, crush them, but that's a lot of damage. Like to completely Gallagher somebody's head, that's a whole different story. This style of zombie, I will guarantee you, if you bring infection, if you bring disease, and Philippe Gougerat had a good video about disease, and I want to do one here properly on disease at some point, but he did a good job with that. Disease is one of the things that people just don't put enough in a game. And disease is a horrible, insidious ailment that you can put upon players, and believe you me, it will crank up the realism factor, the sell factor of your players. Disease, the fact that once you know all these things out here are infected corpses that will make you one of them, you will not be running up and trying to kill them. You will be trying to get the fuck away from them. Or at best, trying to stay at good range and just pluck them off with arrows. Again, zombies don't move that fast. That's how you need to fight them. Otherwise, if you're not thinking smart, you will be a zombie, son.